There we go. Let's hop into Tyranny. Cool. So basically, I already went through all of the graphical options and all that jazz, so we're good there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to crank the sound volume up just a little bit. There we go. And let me know if that's too much. So anyways, Tyranny. Let's make a new game and see what's going on. Oh shit, what's this? Normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency. Oh shit. Okay, so we're just gonna go with normal. Normal seems to be perfectly fine for us. So yeah, let's go with normal. This looks really cool. I'm liking the design of this game. DK or Dime, as I remember. What game is that one? It is Tyranny. Pretty cool.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world.
Huh.
All who stood against them fell before their might.
So the bad guy won.
Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die.
Serve or die.
Raven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Alright, I'm down. See, DK, also hi, I always forget. Oh, you're good. Hi, how's it going? And I'll channel. Yeah, one of those. Yeah, no problem. No problem. You just come in and start talking. It's cool. Let's see. Male or female? I think I'm gonna go with the female. Let's see. What is this? So this is like tiny. This is like big. This is like Amazon snoo snoo. This is like fit. Okay. These are like different skin colors. Okay. Desku. Alright. I'm gonna go with like a fit woman. Let's see. Face and hair. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. So this reminds me of like old school RPGs like Baldur's Gate, where you can select a portrait. That looks cool. Ooh, I dig that. I dig that one. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Hair. I've heard that the character creation in this game can take like an hour or two. I'm like, what? Let's see. I had to turn the volume down for me. Let's see. Let me know if the volume's alright with you guys. Oh, there we go. I like this one right here. It's like a side shave. I'm digging that. Let's see, red hair. Oh, hell yeah. That's let me look at this one. Oh, okay, let's go with that one. Let's see, never played that old school game? Oh man, it's pretty good. Let's see, okay. Voice. Let's hear her voice.
Quiet down. We must rest. Soon.
Noble?
See that? Trouble is afoot.
Okay, what's this? Oh, yo. You did play Diablo 1 and generated money. That's awesome. Let's see. These are tattoos on the body. Okay. Yo-ho-ho. That's really cool. Yo. That tree, though. Snake. Oh, damn. Okay. A big ass. Oh, it's actually on her hand. That's interesting. Here's some hella tattoos. Let's see. Oh, geez. That's like everywhere. Goodness. Let's see. What about this one? That's like right on her hand. Where is this one? Oh, her face. See, it's on her arm. I really like the tree. I think I'm going to go with the tree. But let's make it dark. And red. Oh, hell yeah. It's like it's blood in the roots. That looks cool as hell. I discovered my own way to clone. I didn't have internet, so yeah. No problem. That's cool, though. Alright, next. History. How did you join Kairos' army? Alright, let's see what we got here. Pit fighter, soldier, lawbreaker, warmate, diplomat, noble scion, guild apprentice, or hunter. What is soldier? Unable to settle the year's accounts with grain, your parents offered you as tithe to the overlord instead. Seeing your first battles as a child, you've known all your life how to fight, how to stay calm at the sight of blood and disembowelment, and how to rely on your fellow warriors. Deemed smarter than the average killer, you were groomed for command and given an education in letters and numbers. With rumors of war, it seemed recruitment into the disfavored legion would be the obvious match for your skills, but the Archon of Justice is known to say that good iron is not used for swords, and good minds were not used for soldiers. Claimed by Tanan, you're instead drafted into the court of Fatebinders, where your martial skills were put to use in the enforcement of Kairos' laws. Holy shit, that sounds cool. Dude. Let's look at Pit Fighter. Not wishing to pay to feed and house two, the madame that purchased your mother sold you to the Proving Grounds, the Northern Empire's bloodiest, most notorious fighting arena. Given only enough training to assure the show isn't over too soon, your natural prowess and survival instinct led you to one victory after another. There is no elegant swordplay, no formalized duels, just brutal melee and the stench of blood, shit, and bronze, with each day's gruesome necessities. Holy fuck, that sounds awesome. It is said that any fighter that slays a dozen others in the grand melee is given her freedom, but in 300 years only 3 warriors have ever walked away from the Proving Grounds. When the closing horn sounded and 13 corpses lay about your feet, you became the 4th to be granted freedom to thunderous applause. But this autonomy was short-lived. Within days, word of your accomplishment made its way to the Archon of Justice. Holy shit. I like sleeves. Tattoo sleeves, that is. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's like, dude. So, I'm not going to read every single one of them, but I think Pit Fighter or Soldier sounds really cool. I think I'm going to go with Soldier, though. Well, God. So I want to build, like, a melee character. Let's see. I think Pit Fighter. Pit Fighter is going to be the one for me. So she, you know, fought in the pits, the arenas, and killed 13 people and got the fuck out. That's really cool. Now, of course, I'm going to go Sword and Shield. Oh, look at that! Yo! Javelin, dual wielding, unarmed, frost, and atrophy. Yo! I'm still gonna go sword and shield. Choose an ability: shield slam or sunder. I'm gonna go shield slam. Yeah. How do I choose it? Does click it? Okay. Secondary expertise. Okay. By the way, I only played Diablo and PC for the first time in 2013 before I played it on PS1. That's all I had for years. Yeah. For a lot of us, that's how we gamed when we were younger. We would get one game, and we would play that game into the ground because, you know, for instance, in my case, my parents couldn't afford, you know, to buy new games constantly, so we had to play that game until we were basically tired of it. Let's see, now, secondary training. Let's see, frost magic let's see, drains the skills and attributes of your enemies, granting yourself and your allies bonuses. Well, what kind of bonuses here? What's this? Titan's Touch. Bonus to might and vitality. Yo. I mean, if I can give myself like a buff before a battle, that'd be cool. But I don't want to spread myself too thin either in terms of my skills. Maybe spear and shield? Because that would be one-handed weapons, athletics, parry. Because I think that would still complement, you know, sword and shield quite a bit. I'm going to try it. I know it's a little bit of min-maxy, but yeah. Alright, let's continue. Banner. Oh shit, dude. Okay. There's a lot to customize. Oh, banner. Okay. Oh, this little thing. Okay. Like I said, I've heard that the character customization can take like an hour or two. I'm like, holy shit. It's crazy. Let's see. So many symbols. Yo. What is going on? So we're a pit fighter. So what would a pit fighter symbol be? A fist. A fucking fist. Hell yeah. Let's see. Now I don't want that. There we go. Now this, is there like a black or what can I put this on that looks good? What's a good background for red? Just white? That seems to look okay. That looks okay. Over here is our character colors. So we have black as our main color, and as our secondary. Let's look around here. That purple. Ugh. Red? I'm not feeling the red. Kind of a gray? That might be okay. What about white? Blue? Yeah, black and gray seems to look okay. It meshes pretty well. Enter name. Guard Ian. In my case, I lived in Cuba. Didn't have access to consoles. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Let's see. Okay, name. Here we go. Now here's where I really need to focus. So let's see. We got might and finesse. So might determines the physical strength of a character. Increased might leads to more powerful attacks and stronger abilities, as well as increasing the endurance defense. Okay. The finesse attribute describes the character's physical and mental precision. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells, as well as increasing worn armor's chance to reduce a hit type. Example, critical hit or hit to graze. Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. So what I'm going to do... 14, 14, and this is health. So I'm going to go 2 to health. So that looks good to me. Next. Oh shit. One-handed weapons. Let's see, what do we got here? Parry. Defend against melee attacks and spells. Okay. Athletics. Traverse difficult terrain. Gotcha. So let's get this up. Okay, the maximum I can go is 50 currently. I gotcha. And then athletics. Awesome. So those two are up there. And let's go to next. So there's Conquest or Quick Start. Selecting the Conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' Conquest of the Tiers, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over the starting state of the game and how other factions will react to your character. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do it. Dude. Has way too much customization.
To Kairos. And now the Overlord's eye is on the Tiers, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Interesting. Spacebar to continue.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tiersmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tiers sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors. Until it's too late.
Damn, that's fucked up. I'm hitting bed, gotta go to work tomorrow. Yeah, no problem, bye. Have a good night, since you're going to sleep. Have a nice playthrough and nice dreams. Yeah, you too. You too. Good to see you around. Let's see. Spacebar to continue. Let's go. During the conquest, you'll decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tiers. Yeah, we already read that. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. 428 TR, year 1 of Kairos' conquest. Oh shit. The bastard city stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tiers. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking this city would send a message to the rest of Tiers. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Damn. What is this? Social foothold. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way. It's a token. What's this do? Sun Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. Oh, okay, so I can't hit next on that, but do I have to... Oh, I gotcha. So what is this? Infiltrate the Tiers. Gates of Judgment. Oh, I see. Doing this will reduce, like, this little bar here. Okay. Let's do it. I liked how the, what do they call them? The Disfavored sound. They sounded really cool. So let's do that. The bastard city learned too late that a military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formation of the Disfavored. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up, the weak executed, and the strong enslaved to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. Holy shit. That's crazy. So, feeding the host or to judge the enemy. I think food is a much better thing than executing a bunch of people. But then again, if we're going for an evil playthrough, then if I get a chance to kill a man, why not? The soldiers of the Tears fell by the hundreds, and Kairos' armies could not agree on how to handle what few survivors they dragged back to camp. Befitting your role, the commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who occupied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army. Yikes. Okay. The disfavored needed slaves to haul their gear, dig latrines, and keep their pallets warm at night. You consigned the survivors of the battle to their subservient role among Graven Ash's noble troops. Interesting. Wounded and demoralized by prior defeat, the soldiers of the Tears put up minimal resistance to their new status in Kairos' military. The disfavored enjoyed the luxury of putting others to work, but didn't allow themselves to grow soft. Turning away from the menial duties and focusing instead on a rigorous training regimen that left them alert and eager for combat. You gave the Tears slaves their first assignment, digging a mass grave outside the gates of judgment where a cloud of flies marked the passage of Kairos' army. Holy shit. So, we're a soldier in the bad guy's army. This is fucked up. The armies of Kairos amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of the Tears to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost, the Scarlet Chorus howling for plunder, and the disfavored forming an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Both of the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which did you support? Let's see, wait, who's this? Mixed. What's this? Concealing shadows. Warrior's respite. Interesting. I'm going to keep going with the disfavored. They seem to be the cool guys. You join the disfavored vanguard in a direct assault upon the city gates. No fortification would stand before the unstoppable legion. With heroic courage and legendary determination, the disfavored battered the gates of the bastard city to splinters. Those who fell under the consistent hail of arrows or cascades of boiling pitch left the battlefield temporarily, only to appear hours later as Archon, Graven Ash's protection healed their numerous wounds. In time, the gates gave way, and Kairos' forces spilled inside the city walls with resounding cheers of victory. Oh shit. That's really cool how these little set pieces are doing their thing there. The bastard city settled to a new state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Kairos' banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as a judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing or a war advisor with the armies advancing to the realm of Apex. So judge and overseer if we go to Lethian's Crossing, or war advisor if we go to Apex. Let's go to war. Fuck yeah. $429 TR, year 2 of Kairos' conquest. Apex. The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the queens of House Vendrian, stood at the heart of the Tears. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus had pushed deep into the Tears. Elements of both armies were dispatched to conquer Apex. Tunon assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies. Alright. So we can Do a denial of strength. Let's see. Or the Battle of Edgaring Pass. Let's see. A new school of mages presented problems and opportunities. I'll do a battle. The disfavored sent their most destructive ally to crush Edgering Fort. Cairn, Archon of Stone, buried the stronghold under an avalanche triggered from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Chorus were promised captured enemies for recruitment, yet none survived the onslaught. The Chorus demanded compensation. Well, fuck the Chorus. You congratulated the disfavored for taking the pass without risking the lives of Kairos' loyal servants. At this stage of the campaign, it was vital to use any advantage that would mitigate any losses. The Scarlet Chorus claims were insignificant compared to the lossless victory. You congratulated the disfavored and encouraged the Scarlet Chorus to better value their soldiers' lives. A suggestion that gang bosses took worse than the original offense. Vowing to remember this, the slighted army returned to camp to sulk, if not lick their wounds. It's pretty crazy. Let's see, the Marriage Bed Armistice, or Swords of the Fallen. Yo, we gotta rectify this. Scarlet Chorus soldiers were seen wearing disfavored gear, supposedly taken from those who fell in battle. The disfavored were outraged, citing tradition that their armor passed only to the next of kin within the army. In a debate of tradition versus practicality, you had to rule in favor of one army or over another. The disfavored, you upheld the disfavored traditions and punished those wearing the Legion's iron. The army had come to deliver Kairos' peace, which came with a higher standard. The Scarlet Chorus recruits bearing Legion gear were identified, rounded up, and flogged in the disfavored camp. Graven Ash and his soldiers called it a fair, if not wholly equivalent response to the injustice done. By way of reply, tricksters in the Scarlet Chorus filed hundreds of requisition forms requesting arms and armor, a clerical burden that somehow fell to you to reject each in turn. Yikes. The Fall of Apex. Pleased by your support of the disfavored battle plan, the Archon of War selected you for a vital mission: to meet with the enemy and negotiate a surrender, allowing Kairos' forces to declare victory and move onward. How did you orchestrate the surrender of the enemy? With these guys. Through days of meditation, you negotiated the surrender of the valley to Kairos' forces, putting an end to further bloodshed. Your former enemies were loath to part with their lands, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. The Tearsmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rules of Apex finally submitted to your terms of surrender, putting an end to the war in the valley and freeing up Kairos' forces to march deeper into the Tears. Huh. The land of Apex finally rested in the hands of Kairos' forces. The Scarlet Chorus paused to revel in victory while the disfavored prepared for the next fight, affording themselves but an evening's rest. Kairos' armies radiated out from the conquered citadel and worked their way across the Tears. The disfavored and Scarlet Chorus aimed to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Kairos' military left a choice of your next destination yours to make. Okay. Azure, stalwart, most formidable. So this has treasures, knowledge, and secrets. think I'm gonna go to Stalwart. Stalwart sounds good. Like there would be some good armor and gear there. The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army. Disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kairos' forces approached with due caution. With its southern position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war, watching for 2 years as his neighbors fell to Kairos' forces. On the dawn of the third year of war, Kairos' forces were finally poised to invade the Stalwart Peninsula and subdue the tier's most vaunted army. So we have marching on empty for some supplies, or interesting. Oh, yo. The Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Chorus mob raided from the disfavored's well-maintained supply lines, incurring casualties on both sides. You know what? Fuck you, Scarlet Chorus. You ordered that the thieving Scarlet Chorus soldiers be spiked for their affront. You damn right. Even in a time of war, there was no excuse for allied armies to battle each other in violation of Kairos' peace. The disfavored rightly argued that they only had enough supplies to feed their troops. The Scarlet Chorus needed to better look after their own people. Agreeing with their assessment, you had the offenders staked outside of the Scarlet Chorus camp, left to send a message that hunger was no shield from justice. Holy shit. Better dead than red. Or the Scarlet Chorus mages discovered a spell to turn beastmen slaves against their handlers. The army prepared to deploy this tactic elsewhere, but the disfavored protested. The use of unsanctioned magical practices ran contrary to Kairos' law, and beastmen were considered too erratic to be relied upon, even as shock troops. You agreed with the disfavored argument and ordered the beastmen slain. The Scarlet Chorus mages who discovered the trick were ordered to never use it again on pain of execution. The Scarlet Chorus argued that their tactics were suppressed by the disfavored's rigid sense of ethics, which didn't apply to their side of the military campaign. Jesus. You listened to these complaints with interest, wondering if they suggested some greater flaw in the conquest, but stood by your decision. The disfavored took the more orderly approach. Kairos' peace meant nothing without order. Jeez. The disfavored carved a slow, steady path into the heart of Stalwart and surrounded the enemy's massive fortress. With the main bulk of their forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreated into their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. The Overlord answered this impudence with an edict of storms on the peninsula, a devastating spell that would endure for as long as the cowardly hearts of Stalwart's leaders persisted in beating. Knowing you had the trust of Graven Ash, Tunon deemed you the proper representative to deliver Kairos' edict. Aside from being given a 3-day window to read the edict, you received no other instructions. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavored, you proclaimed the edict at once, leaving the enemy no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender for several years. Time for mercy was long gone. You agreed with the disfavored rationale. The leaders of Stalwart had refused honorable battle. and too many disfavored lives were lost in the campaign. Since the last regent refused to leave the keep, you had let him watch as his people suffered. Without hesitation or regret, you broke the seal of Kairos' Edict of Storms and read the Overlord's incantation. Holy shit. The Edict of Storms. The clear skies darkened as you read the final words of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and craggy canyons, turning rocks, uprooting trees, and hapless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with a measure of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers worth of limbs, spears, armor, and skulls. What's more, the weather showed no sign of dissipating. Several units of disfavored, who fought the enemy in spite of the advancing storm, were caught up in the Overlord's magic. The few survivors regrouped and nursed their wounds. Their failure to topple the stalwart legion shamed them into believing the dead more fortunate. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave, for the remade landscape festooned with the iron and bronze armaments of two once great legions. As Kairos' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruins of Stalwart, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunan called you into service once more. Holy shit, they got fucked. Wow. Conquest complete. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? Continue. Let's go. That was interesting. That was like shaping our backstory. I really like that.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault.
Alright.
With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you.
What the shit?
You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.